What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. First, I'd like to apologize for the terrible lighting. Of course it's rainy and gloomy out, but yeah, it's time to finally get this thing finished up. Unfortunately, like I said, it's raining, so we probably won't be doing any rides, but the goal is to at least do a burnout in this thing. So let's start off with, first I designed and printed a Fardriver mount for the SX that works out so it doesn't interfere with the seat where the seat sits down. Wraps right around the top tube perfectly. All the holes mounted up. This is my first part I've ever designed and printed, so I'm pretty stoked about that, and it worked out. Shout out to Marcos on the Razors page. Check him out. I'm going to be sending him the STL. He's got a 3D printing business to do this kind of stuff, and he's already making like fenders and all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm gonna give him that because he's got the means to do business with these. So check him out. I'll put a link in the description to his Facebook profile, that way you can hit him up if you want to do the same thing with yours. It should work with like the Lone Star piggyback kit and pretty much any Fardriver until you get to like the 72-850, which they start getting bigger. Correct me if I'm wrong, it might be the 1200 and 1800 that go up in size. But look at that thing. Oh man. So I did have to cut the top of the box. I have a thicker heat sink than the one in my Mototec, and possibly whatever you guys might get. So I did have to cut this. I did keep it between these little tabs right here. So if I would have shifted this over more, the phase lug, or if I flipped it the other way, it would be the battery negative or something, would be sitting right on top of that. And that just seems kind of sketchy. So right here it ends up being perfect. Real quick, let me grab the plastics. Alright, so you'll notice I got kind of like a V-notch going on right there, and I didn't extend this all the way out because right about here is where there's, you can see, let's find some better lighting, that black square right there, that actually sits flush onto the frame, so that keeps this out of the way. Now, let's see if I can do this with one hand. Got the plastics on. Alright, so now we got the plastics on. You can see it completely disappears. And then if we can get a good view from the front, you can see that the 3D mount does not interfere with the plastics or the seat at all. So it works out great. Like I said, hit up Marcos. He'll be making these and selling them. I do think I'm going to put this video up on my Patreon, and I will link the STL on my Patreon. So if you guys want to join that and help support the channel, please do. That'd be awesome. But yeah, the STL and the file is going to go to Marcos, so hit him up if you want to get one yourself. Alright, so anyways, basically all I need to do at this point is finish welding these up. I got to take the box off, get everything wired, need to get the old grips off and put the new ones on. I got those sitting over there, and I think that's pretty much it. I did want to say one more thing about the controller mount, or the way I mounted the controller. One second. Now, as I was saying, I had to cut a hole into the box. It actually works out perfect because once I unscrew this side here, this panel just comes straight out, and I have full access to the underside of the controller. That way I can disconnect and connect phase wires, mess with the harness, all that good stuff. So it actually works out great, and as you can see, it's completely hidden under the plastics. The scoops are going to work in a way that it'll catch the air and it'll actually push it through to the heatsink. So this should work out pretty good. Kind of took inspiration from the Mototec, how the controller is mounted up under the tank and the shrouds scoop in the air. But yeah, I think from here, I think I'm gonna put up like we'll do a time lapse or something of me welding this on. When I take the box off, I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. I've already got it all gutted out, took the old controller off, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get right into it. Alright guys, finally got all the welding done on the back here. The mounter mount is already welded, so I'm not worried about that. Threw in a quick coat of black. I do plan on disassembling all of this in the future. Doing the frame black, I think it would look better. I'm not a big fan of the silver. Probably going to do the battery box black as well. I don't know, I'm just a all black kind of guy. But yeah. Now you can really see all those imperfections, but I'll tell you what, that stuff is burned in there. It ain't going nowhere. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take the battery box off. I'll throw you on the tripod, and I'll show you guys how easy I made it to remove this cover, get to the controller, plug everything in, and then from there, yeah, we'll just start putting the throttle, the grips on, get everything ready to rip, put the tire back on when it dries up, and then we'll give it our first burnout. We're getting super close, guys. Went ahead and half-ass spray painted the rest of the swing arm, tried to mask everything off. Threw the new motor in, since I have it already pinned up for the hall sensors. The other one I'm going to need to pin the connector for it. That one we're gonna send to the moon. This one we're gonna do a safe tune for you guys. So after we're done with hooking all this up and getting a burnout done, I'll be taking it to a lot, something so I can get a nice clean tune for you guys and show you guys how to do it. And then after we get this whole series done, so one more video, we'll throw in the old motor. We'll put the moon tune on it and send it to the sky for sure. But yeah, so I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to get to the side cover and get to the controller. So you got your top two right there, very easy to get to. Two sides and the one on the bottom. And then this thing, just like normal, will pop right out. And then I already have my throttle ran. And then this will get ran through the tube and through the notch right over here. Excuse my painted hands. How you like my nails? But yeah, so we got our harness right here ready to go. And if you haven't followed my Fardriver wiring kit, I'll put a link up in the top right over here. That way you guys can check it out if you're coming in late to the series. So everything's pretty much ready to go. I'm not going to film plugging it all in. Like I said, go check out that video if you want to see how everything's wired up. So I'll go ahead. Of course, I got a phone call and it cut me off. So yeah, I'll go ahead and plug everything in, and we should be pretty much ready to go. Plug everything in, put the cover back on, put the plastics back on. Make sure I have a decent tune. I'm pretty sure I already have it preset up for this motor. and then we'll get a burnout going. Actually, we might even go for a little ride. Maybe I'll set up the tripod and try to do some wheelies. We'll see. But yeah, let me go ahead and get this finished up, and I'll be right back. Give you guys one last look before I tuck it all in and put the plastics back on. So everything is hooked up. Give you a little sneak peek. Controller's on. Brakes are working. Ready to go. All right, let me put everything back together. The bike is officially done. Officially, unofficially. There's still some things I want to do, like paint it, you know, make it look pretty, but functionally, the motor is mounted, everything's wired up. Eventually, I just got the charge port hanging out here, but once I am dead set on a battery for this thing, I'll have to buy like a 72 volt. I'll go ahead and wire it up to the old charge port or something, put a new charge port in. So I mean, little things here and there, but right now it is functional. It rides. I've already been doing some wheelies on it. This thing is so much fun. I still need to change the shock out for the Mototec shock because the front end is way too soft for that stiff rear end. But check this thing out, guys. Looks so freaking good. One thing I'm gonna have to do is cut the front fender, cut it to about right here. Keep getting interrupted with phone calls. But yeah, I'm gonna have to cut the front fender because the forks are so soft that if I brake hard, it rubs against the tire real bad. So cut that right there, shouldn't be an issue. Obviously it was meant for a little 10-inch tire. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna set you up, let's do some burnouts. It's not turned up very high right now, just because I want to keep it safe for the moment and wait till I have a day where I can tune it. Cool. Let's do some burnouts and some wheelies. Threw a quick tune on it. Figured I'd show you guys. This is 48 volt, a little over 3 kilowatts. Pulling good. Can't wait to get her on 72 volt. Alright guys, well, all that planning and hard work came together and it is awesome. I love this bike. It's so unique. There's nothing like it out there with the Mototec motor, the Mototec wheels, the Mototec brake. It just really goes to show that all these extra parts that most of us have laying around, you can put them to use and make something pretty awesome with it. But this is gonna do it for this video. Next video we'll have the Fardriver tuning video. That way you guys can make a kit yourself, make it nice and safe and reliable, good power. I've been having nothing but great time with these Fardrivers, with the Mototec, the SSR, my buddy's quad. I mean, they make an absolutely strong and great controller. But yeah, so if you guys want to help support this channel, I really need a battery. So go to hit my Patreon up. It's only $5 a month, and everything that I make through the YouTube ad revenue and everything all goes back towards the channel. So I'll be getting batteries, parts, showing you guys in a new video, upcoming video. We're going to be taking the RSF and doing a full light kit. We're talking blinkers, brake lights, headlights. We got a headlight sponsor for that video, Co-Light, so look forward to that here pretty soon. Be getting some product reviews coming out. But yeah, that's all I can think of for now. Until next time, peace.